DeLorean. Got a DeLorean right here. Holy smokes. So it's me in the Pacifica with the DeLorean 80SXS. Got a DeLorean time machine up in this motherfucker. Look at that shit. Holy crap. I never seen one of these things on the road. Look how small that thing is. It's like a Lamborghini. Wow. I mean, you can't not love the DeLorean. I mean, you know, Dr. Brown would have a heart attack if you didn't love the DeLorean. That thing's amazing. Yeah. It sounds horrible, but it's a DeLorean. I mean, how can you not like that? Cool. Honda and Acura and them, they can talk all the shit that they want. Right here is a customer car. He's got the 392 Durango. I think this is either Rhino or Bruiser. But you can talk all the shit you want. The simple fact is these things are goddamn huge. Big, huge, and fucking fast. And that's all. That should be Chrysler's new motto. Their new motto should be big, huge, and fucking fast. And the thing about it is, like, Acura MDX, those tiny-ass, stupid foreign cars, nobody wants that shit. I mean, granted, listen, if I'm going to spend money on something, and, you know, if I'm going to have a turbocharged, supercharged engine or some shit like that, it's like, I'm going to get as much space out of son of a bitch as I can. Put three kids in the back of the thing. That's what I'm talking about. This shit is hot. It's so imposing. It's physically imposing. It's red brakes and shit. Everybody sees that thing from the side and they're like, uh-oh, that must be the fast one. And that's what you want people to say. You don't want people to look at you in your shitty-ass Honda Pilot and they'd be like, ooh, oh, yeah, it's a Honda Pilot. Ooh, no, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Big, huge, and fucking fast. That should be the SRT logo. I used to call it SRT stood for Speeders Receive Tickets. But, you know, because, you know, it stands for SRT. But I think big, huge, fucking fast. I like the way that sounds a lot. So much in those. You can just fit so much in them. Look at that. You got nice new floor mats and everything. Like the WeatherTech leathers, the floor mats are big and huge. It's like this is what America looks like. I don't know why Lamborghini finally figured out. Lamborghini must have been listening to me. And Lamborghini said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to build a big, huge car that Americans will buy because they're not buying enough of our Lamborghinis. So we're going to build the Urus. I mean, you think about it. If Lamborghini has said, hey, fuck it, we got to build a bigger, faster car, then why can't everybody else figure that out? Rolls-Royce is coming out with a fucking SUV. You got, who else? Bentley. Bentley's coming out with an SUV. I mean, this is not rocket science. This is simple logic. Just build them bigger, build them faster, and make it big enough for Americans. That's all you got to do. You see, this is what I like to see right here. I like to see another satisfied customer who's satisfied with their purchase. That's what I like to see. You know, selling houses. I would almost like to sell cars. The only problem is, it's like selling houses is more fun, I would say, because then you get to go and visit the house and you get to talk about it and everything, and you gotta, you know, show the customer everything about the house. I actually like doing that more, but selling cars would be fun. The thing about it is, there's nothing better than seeing a satisfied customer with some big, huge, fucking fast car driving off the lot and knowing that they can overpower every piece of shit fucking Honda and every shitty fucking Nissan and every stupid Toyota out there. Just overpower them, run them down, pass them, and do it with impunity. And that brings a smile to my face. It's like you can't steal enough engines to run those shitty CVT transmissions. You couldn't, like, you remember back in the days when Honda racing was a big thing and they were stealing engines? You can't even do that shit no more. Because now you just get laughed at with your silly CVT. I'm just so glad to see that my video talking about the 2019 Challenger has suddenly become so popular. I don't know, maybe people are sharing it, maybe people are what is it called? Maybe it got featured or something, because all of a sudden I saw the views jump by like 10,000 views or whatever. But you know, it just makes me feel so good to know that Dodge is building something. I mean, yeah, granted, they're gonna fix their interior issues or whatever. They're gonna work on what is it called, reliability. But it's just so amazing that they're building a product that nobody else can even possibly. They can't even copy this shit. I mean, if they tried to copy it, like Hyundai, if anybody tried to copy it, it would be so obvious. They can't, like, You'll never see Honda put numbers on the side of their car to tell how big the engine displacement is. You'll never see that shit. But it's just like so amazing that we can have products like this, things that are so powerful that they shouldn't even exist on regular roads. Like when the cops try to chase one of these cars, it's like they can't even keep up because they got those shitty, pathetic Fords, you know? And those things only got like 365 horsepower. That's like 1 horsepower for every day of the fucking year. And that Challenger Hellcat, man, he was driving so fast, the cops couldn't even get to the same zip code that fucking guy was in. They couldn't catch him till he ran out of gas. Look at that. Big, huge, and fucking fast. That's what an American car is supposed to be. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a review on the Chrysler Pacifica, which I didn't do before. Oh, look at this Ram ProMaster. So I'm going to actually do this review on the Chrysler Pacifica because I haven't done one recently. So now I'm going to do one. So I have this Pacifica right here. Nice color. Really nice color, right? And this is actually a very, very good seller. So let's jump in this thing and find out why it sells so well. So let's say that you've got a bunch of kids. Let's say that you and your wife, all you do all day long is have lots of sex and you're making all these babies and you got to figure out a place to, put them in the car. And the thing about it is you have to have a really big car. But it's not just about having a big car. You also have to have lots and lots of space for all this stuff. You know, like the strollers and stuff like that. You know, like strollers. Let's say you got a wheelchair or something. Let's say you got a grandparent and you got to cart them around and everything. So basically, you're not looking at an SUV because the thing about it is even the biggest SUVs, typically they don't have a lot of third row space. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a minivan. And right now, there is no minivan hotter than the Chrysler Pacifica. Look at that SRT there. Look at that. There is no minivan hotter than the Chrysler Pacifica right now. And I'm rolling around with the windows up and AC up. Very, very comfortable ride. And right now, this thing has been getting very, very good reviews. In fact, I would go so far as to say, and you know that I've already done a Pacifica review a while back. Eventually, maybe I'll get my hands on an electric one because the only difference between this and the electric one is the gas mileage, basically. But I would say that similar to the Jeep Grand Cherokee, that FCA basically has a perfect car. This is a perfect minivan. That right there, look at that, two of them, black and white. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. So anyway, these are perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. There's nothing you could say bad about them because if you ever complain and you say, oh, well, I need something bigger, then you go get the Durango. And if you say, oh, I need something faster, look, there's another one, 3 of them. The Jeep SRTs, Jeep Grand Cherokees, these things sell like roaches. I see them everywhere. So they're perfect cars. They're literally absolutely perfect. Quiet. Now, the steering, you know, I don't know why these stupid professional reviewers, which I don't have any respect for because I know they're full of shit, it's not fun to drive. Of course it's not fun to drive, you idiot. It's a goddamn minivan. It's like it's not so. I mean, now, granted, listen, Chrysler, if it was me working at Chrysler, I'd be making a Pacifica SRT. And we'd have the all-wheel drive system coming out of the Jeep Trackhawk or the Durango. And we'd have an all-wheel drive, fucking 4-wheel drive, where the computer can choose where to vector the torque. And we would have an SRT Pacifica. Now, is that a good idea? Of course it's not a good idea. But it would sell. And that's all that matters. Sales figures matters. That's all that matters. So what we would have is we'd have a 3.6, and then for people who really, really, really wanted it, look at that. That's pretty cool. There's like luxury features everywhere. Look at that. There's nobody even sitting back there. I can turn that off. Oh, that's the rear, what is that called? The rear AC. So there's nobody even sitting back there, and it's like, it's just totally nice. It's so nice. Look how pretty this is. This is so pretty. Let's get this AC up. I could put it in automatic, and I could have it nice and cold in here. Okay, so how do you do auto? I don't know how to do auto, but I could turn the air up. So yeah, this is very, very comfortable. And this is the type of car, like I have family members who live down south. I have family members who live upstate. I have family members like Rhode Island, places like that. It's like when they drive around, because they're big people, they're not like really fat or heavy, but a lot of them are really tall. Like one of my uncles is damn near 7 feet tall, and his son plays professional basketball. Look at that, 2 Grand Cherokees. It's a perfect car. It's absolutely perfect. Perfect. I can't say anything bad about it. It's flawless. But my thing is, a lot of people, they don't want that SUV because of the ground clearance. Like my uncle, his hips and his legs, you know, he's old. And a lot of people can't step up into these SUVs. There's another one. And another one. Look at that. 2 white ones. Look at that. And then there's the Cherokee right there. Look at that. These things are like roaches. They're everywhere. And you know why? Because they're big, huge, and fucking fast. And that's all you have to do in order to sell cars to Americans. This is not rocket science. It's just not rocket science. So rather than be like Honda or one of those boring ass companies that have some stupid 4-cylinder or turbocharged 4 in their minivan, Chrysler said, wait a minute. If we're going to build a car this big, why the hell would we go back to drawing board and build some shitty 4-cylinder with turbos in it that's probably not good? Whoa, that thing is... I could drag race the shit out of these other minivans. Look at that. This thing's fast. It's fast for a V6 Pentastar. My goodness. This thing's got some pickup on it. So anyway, Chrysler said, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put a V6 in this thing. We're not going to put one of these stupid 4-cylinders in it. Just because it's a minivan, people are going to load this thing up with stuff, and they need to be able to move fast. So we're not going to put a stupid 4-cylinder in it. We're going to put a fucking 6 in it. In fact, what we really should do is we should listen to Big Truck Series. We should put the supercharged Hemi in it, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to wait till like 2020. We're going to put a supercharged V8 in the Chrysler Pacifica, so this way you can drag race the shit out of Nissan GTRs with your minivan. Perfect car. I mean, this thing is perfect. If I had a bunch of children right now, this is probably what I would have, but I don't. So this way I can keep spending my money on tires and gas and oil changes rather than have to worry about feeding children. But these are perfect cars. I can't stress that enough. How could this thing be any less than perfect? It's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's amazing. It's nice and quiet too. I don't even have the radio up because, you know, YouTube, you know, they mess with you if you get copyrighted music into your video. But if it was up to me, man, Chrysler would have a Pacifica SRT. It would have Brembo brakes, obviously. And on top of that, we'd have a supercharged Hemi up in it. I wouldn't even put the 6.4 in there. I'd say, yeah, we're going to take this shit all the way to the max. Let me slide. Oh, good brakes, too. Oh, you ran the light, you bat. Oh, okay, well, he didn't run the light. It was yellow. I thought he ran the light. But see, that's the whole thing about that Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's so fast that even at a yellow light, you can actually catch that yellow light. And you can go right through it. And it won't be red until you leave, you know, because that's how fast it is. You know, it's not like one of these shitty-ass Acura MDXs or one of those ugly-ass Honda Pilots. Look at that. Look at that ugly-ass car right there. Those things are so ugly. God damn. You know? But, yeah, that's just... Oh, look, there's a Range Rover. I don't really like Range Rovers and Land Rovers. I'm not interested in that. Uh-oh, what's that? It's a Corvette. Corvette C7 right there. That's kind of nice, but I'd rather have a Demon or a Challenger or something. You know, if I was going to get a 2-door coupe. And I really wish that I really wish they would make a Maserati GT-based Dodge Charger 2-door coupe. But problem is, you wouldn't want to call it the Charger. You'd want to call it something else, like you call it the Barracuda. Like, I would take one of the old names, like the Barracuda, and you could make something 2 doors and fast, unlike that ugly Lexus XF, that ugly ass car. You remember in the movie Black Panther how she had the video game and she was driving a Lexus, and at a certain point Black Panther was like, yeah, I need you to speed up, and she was like, I can't go any faster. The reason why you couldn't go any faster is because you're in a shitty ass Lexus. That's why. All you had to do is have yourself a Hemi and you'd have been happy, you know? Damn Infinities. Boring. So anyway, it's like, this is a perfect fucking car. Look at this. So you got this is the gauges. It's got a little fuel icon that points basically to where the fuel is. And for the most part, you never have to worry about the engine overheating. The only time you'd ever have to worry is if you're water pump overheated and broke or something like that. And yes, I will say this. Yes, FCA right now, they do have a recall on water pumps. Now, I don't know who they source their water pumps from, but, you know, recall parts happens more and more, especially when you get in some of this shit from China and parts of Southeast Asia with horrible quality control. What's this? 442. What's that? Ooh, look at that. It looks like John Wick. Looks like John Wick right there, but I don't think it is. So anyway, Cadillac CTS. Is that the CTS or the ATS? I think, yeah, that's the CTS. Yeah, boring accurate. Yeah, so, I mean, these things are perfect. But this is a car, nobody has to really talk about how great it is. Nobody has to try to sell one of these things. They sell themselves. Perfect in every way. You know, you could make it faster. You could put better brakes on it, like you could put those Brimbos on it, but it's still a perfect car. It's absolutely perfect. Very lovely interior. Now, granted, this white, I see, me personally, I only like buying black leather, like the SRT leather. But as far as luxury goes, if you're willing to spend the money to wipe up these butt farts and these stains and everything, if you're willing to spend the money, it's like white, you could do white. And the interiors, these panels, most of this is like soft neoprene and like plastic and whatnot. So most of this, it's like you can just wipe that clean. You just get yourself some, what's it called? You can get yourself some Armor All and you'll be fine. We're about to get this thing on the highway. Once we get on the highway, we could see what this baby really does. Let's get this thing on the... It's better than that boring-ass Audi that I drove before, that Audi 2.0 shit. Yeah, see, I'm used to being able to drive really fast and aggressively, and I'm used to also being able to stop really fast and aggressively. I can stop aggressively with Brembo brakes. Like, I get right into these corners with that SRT Jeep. You know, as big as the thing is, I can get right into these corners and dig right into them. Alright, so now we get to see what it can really do. In fact, let me turn off the AC. Throw down these windows real quick. Does this thing have a sport mode? No, I don't think it does. And then it's a minivan, so for the most part, the cops, you know, if they see you speeding a little bit, like you're doing 72 or something, the cops really don't care, because they're like, oh, well, he's got a minivan, so we're not even going to bother ticketing him, because he really probably doesn't have that much money. We're not even going to bother. This guy's got the Volkswagen right here. So all these Jeeps, so many Grand Cherokees, look. There's two next to each other. There's one in front of me. Wow! It's like, yeah, those Pacificas, boy, those things are fast. I'd love to put a Hemi in this son of a bitch. I have like 8 people doing quarter miles in 11 seconds. 8 people sitting in the back. Holy shit. XT5. My mom's gonna probably get one of those when we take her SRX back. So you gotta stay tuned because her car goes back in July. Oh, that's a B. That was one of those Rumble Bs or whatever. I think that was like a Scat or a Rumble Bee. So, I mean, it's hard to say anything more about these things. I mean, they're perfect. There's nothing that you can say bad about it. It's like Chrysler's building perfect cars, and that's a great thing, you know? I mean, granted, you could improve, you know, some aspects of the interior, you could improve some aspects of reliability, but for the most part, these things are perfect. Unlike this. But then again, I have to give Kia credit, because they make good cars now, and they have a new K900 that has all-wheel drive. So I'm not going to talk bad about Hyundai Kia. I like Hyundai Kia. I think they understand the American market. Most, you know, Honda, Toyota, they don't understand the American market. You can tell because they make some ugly-ass shit. And I don't want that. Nice day out here. You know, look at that, big and huge. That's what Americans want right there. Look at that Suburban. Even though it's a boring GM car, it's big and it's huge. It may not be fucking fast, but it's big and huge. That's all you have to have. Big and huge. The Americans will buy it. Because you gotta understand, even if you're small, we still got a bunch of kids, you got strollers, you got packages and stuff, and you gotta have extra space. I don't know what it is about these companies. They think that they're gonna sell all these little ass cars here. It's not gonna happen. Most of these cars, we're gonna let them sit and rot. Another one. I'm going incognito today. Nobody's gonna look at this Chrysler Pacifica and say, hey, is that Big Truck Series? Nobody's gonna look at it and say that, so I'm kind of incognito right now. Ford Explorer. I know that's one of their better sellers, simply because it's so big. M3 here, orange M3. Oh, here's another one. I see a lot of these on the road. The funny thing is, the look of the Pacifica has been it's not extremely obvious on the road. As big as this car is inside, when you actually see one next to you in traffic, unless you're in a small car, it really doesn't look as big as it actually is. You know? It doesn't really look as big as it actually is, but it's pretty, these things are huge. I mean, look at me. Look at my knees. Look at my knees. See, Ford, when they make a car, they put these big fucking stupid transmission tunnels here. So what did they do? They screwed up a lot of their cars, GM and Ford, by putting these big stupid transmission things here, making it so I can't relax, like I can't spread my legs, you know, spread eagle. Why should, I should be able to do that. But a lot of these car makers, they don't seem to understand. When you're dealing with tall Americans, you have to have a high ceiling. Look how high that ceiling is. You have to have a high ceiling, and then you have to have a wide leg spread. Whether they're fat or not, a lot of people want to feel that they have a lot of space. I'm going to pass this stupid shitty Traverse. I'm going to pass his ass. Whoa, look at that V6. Holy shit. This thing is fast. Whoa. God damn. Mopar or no car. Look at this Nissan Altima. That's the official car of the cheating girlfriend right there. Boring. This is so much fun. I love this. If I had a bunch of kids, I'd end up having one of these because I'd never be able to afford the gas. This is actually pretty freaking awesome. This is so freaking awesome. You can pass the shit out of some of these cars, especially these goddamn 4-cylinders. Wow. Whoa, Jesus, man. These things fucking handle too, my goodness. And you know what? Somebody should put cams on one of these, and they should put an Arrington cam on one of these V6s, and they should put a Borla exhaust on it and see what it sounds like. Have a Pacifica race car. That would be so cool. I have to say, man, this thing is very impressive. I feel like I could drive all the way to Florida with this. And then, if you get these things fully loaded, you can get auto adaptive cruise control. And if you have the adaptive cruise control, you can basically just let it drive itself, because some of these things can parallel park themselves, they can perpendicular park themselves, and on top of that, some of them can have lane steering, and they can avoid the white lines. So basically, all you got to do is turn on that cruise control, and you just sit back and let it drive itself like a Tesla, as long as you're driving in a straight line, because most of these cars, they don't have enough autonomous technology in them so that they can actually literally go from one place to another. But the thing about it is they can pretty much super cruise and drive themselves, just like the new Cadillacs. And when I get a chance, I'm going to probably do a little review on the newer CT6, but I've already made a number of videos about the CT6. It's a car I like, but I personally, as long as Mopar is turning out products they're turning out, I don't think I could buy one. It's like, I think I'd stick with SRT for a while. But these things are fast. Because I was driving that stupid Audi, that shitty Q3, and it had the regular engine in it, and I was like, you mean to tell me people are wasting that kind of money on one of these? Hell no. Nope, thank you. This is pretty cool. I gotta say, this is pretty cool. Let's take a corner. Let's see how it takes this corner. About to get off right here. Let's see how it takes this corner real quick. This thing, it's not a sport car, obviously. It's a freaking minivan. But for the most part, this thing has some aggressive handling to it. Not much. Let's see, look. Whoa! I'm not even gonna use the brakes. Oh shit! Whoa! This thing will throw you right out the side of the car too. And then you can speed up. Not bad at all. In fact, some people who build their own race cars, what they do is they get a Charger V6 and then they mod it up and they can put your supercharger in it. You can put twin turbos in it or whatever. So you get a pretty strong displacement, and then you can probably have about 500 or 600 horsepower when you add stuff to it. And you can have a pretty fast car that's also light because it's a V6 rather than the Hellcat engine. Now, obviously, you're not going to take on the torque of a Hellcat, which comes in early because of that V8. But for the most part, these V6s that Chrysler makes are no slouch at all. And it's also funny because you can get a Chrysler 200 with the same V6 that basically makes about 300 horsepower. And these things are pretty fast. I mean, you know, obviously you don't get instantaneous passing power like you get in the SRTs, but I have to say, these things are smooth and they are they're pretty powerful. Not bad. Not bad at all. And as you can see, I didn't get the U-Connect in this one because this one was just a loaner. So it doesn't have all the fun stuff that, you know, my Jeep has. This is kind of like a base model with a nice interior. Those Rams, you know, but this is actually quite an entertaining vehicle. I really like this. You know? And it was funny because when I was at Honda, I made a video at Honda and I tried sitting in one of their Pilot, and that thing was fucking small. And I was like, why is it? Now I know you're making them for the Japanese. The thing about it is, this is America. And in America, you got to have more knee space. I'm sorry, you got to have more knee space. I shouldn't have to sit like a goddamn praying mantis to fit in your shitty product. It's like I should be able to sit nice and wide and comfortable. You know where you're selling it. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at this Honda Pilot Elite. There ain't nothing elite about it. Elite. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm actually amazed. I never really got a chance to do this kind of test drive with this thing because when I first test drove it, it was brand new and I had a salesman with me. So obviously you'd never be allowed to do half the shit that I'm doing now. Oh, let me pass the stupid Honda Odyssey. Get out of here. You can't hang with us. This is Mopar, no car, baby. Honda Odyssey. Who are you kidding? And I have to say, the base brakes are actually pretty good. These brakes, I mean, they're not Brembo power. They can't stop you like 115 feet, but I have to say, these are pretty good brakes. I like these. Pretty good brakes. You know, see, basically, if you've noticed, every weekend I'm trying to put out a couple of videos just to keep my content up. You know, but honestly, I just do it as fun. You know, I'm still on my YouTube. I wish I was making more money, but I'm still making about $2,000 a month on YouTube. And I know my subscribers have gone up. Personally, I'm not really worried about how many subscribers I have as long as my subscribers like my videos. I really don't care about the numbers. Like, a lot of people always begging for subscribers and telling people to subscribe. I don't do that shit. Me personally, I just don't care because to me, this is just a hobby. This is like a labor of love, you know? But I have noticed that my subscribers are going up. So, you know, every now and then I want to put out a video just to, you know, let everybody, oh, look, the Buick. I like the Buick. I'll say this. I won't talk bad about the Buick. I do like the Buick. It could be faster because the only thing about it is GM's product is all like copy paste. It's the same thing. It's 3.6 liter V6s with all-wheel drive, and that's like it. It's the same thing that you get in the Cadillac SRX, the Cadillac XT5. basically copy paste. Just, oh, okay, we got a new car coming out. Okay, well, guess what? 3.6 liter with V6. Everybody should be happy. No, everybody's not happy. You should have had a fucking V8 in there, or an option. We just want the option. Because, like, what would happen if this guy right here and his wife, you know, what happens if he comes across like a Grand Cherokee and he tries to race him and he tries to show off for his wife? Oh shit, this thing's got some wheel spin. Holy shit. Fucking doing burnouts. You know, he can't do that. Not in that thing. Not with that V6 all-wheel drive. You gotta have more power than that, guys. Yeah, wow, this is you burning tires and shit in a fucking Pacifica minivan. That's incredible. Uh-oh, what happened here? What happened here? What's this? Fire department. Oh shit, what's this? And look at that, look at that. Some traitor sold a Challenger Hellcat right there for a goddamn Porsche. Traitor. Don't betray Mopar, ever. Uh-oh. I'm gonna put my hand down because I don't want Freeport police messing with, oh shit, there was a car accident. And I bet you it was probably a slow car accident too, because most of these... Yeah, I gotta put my hand down because I don't want him shooting me or nothing. Uh-oh, there's a car accident. Oh shit. Oh shit, somebody ran over the... She ran, oh my God, there's a Toyota Camry. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, you people gotta be more careful. What you'll need to do is you'll need to learn to drive using SRT products. You gotta learn to drive with a fast car, because if you learn how to drive with a fast car, it gives you nerves of steel like mine. Not many people could bring you the kind of content that I'm bringing you, where you have an omnidirectional camera and you've got the technology that keeps you from crashing into this piece of shit Honda Accord. So the thing about it is, it's like, if you guys get faster cars, it'll give you nerves of steel. And once you have nerves of steel, just like, look at the Trump finger. If you have nerves of steel, you'll be able to drive like pros and you won't get in car accidents. Now, that doesn't save you from somebody rear-ending your car, because you gotta remember, if you're driving slow and everything, that gives somebody a chance to rear-end you. But if you're driving faster, it's like all you gotta worry about is what's in front of you. See, my philosophy is the faster I drive, I leave everybody behind me, and that makes it so they can't get into a car accident with me, because they're so fucking far behind me until there's no way they can hit me. It's like you can't hit what you can't catch. It's just like when those cops were chasing that Charger and the Challenger, and they were chasing them on television, they were trying to catch them. They couldn't catch them, they were in another fucking zip code. They were driving so fucking fast, there's no way you could possibly catch them. That's how I like it. So that's my philosophy. The faster you drive, you make it so nobody can even possibly catch up to you. I like that. Garage sale, ooh, okay. Selling junk. Got some houses here. Nice houses. Yeah, so basically, I'm liking this. I mean, it's a minivan, you know, I'm not supposed to like it, but thus far I like it. In fact, so let's get a couple of shots of the exterior. Let's pull it. There it is, the Chrysler Pacifica. So, just that quickly, I did a nice little review about the Chrysler Pacifica. Now, this isn't my favorite color. I probably would have picked like light silver or something, but it works. Or blue. I like blue. Blue with a white interior looks good. But that's the Chrysler Pacifica. There's a lot of options and shit that this one didn't have, but it works, and it's fast and shit. I'm surprised. That V6, that Pentastar V6 is no slouch, and unlike the 2.7 liter that was in the older cars back in 2006, you know, this thing burns when it has to. You know, this thing pulls when it has to. You got the stow and go seating. You could hide your pistol right under the floor and everything. It's got the floor that comes up. So if you gotta put like an AR-15, like a carbine, you could hide that shit under the floor on your way to the gun range. You got this back seat area. You can have another row back here. I mean, if you're a guy who works like as a plumber or something, you need to store a lot of tools, I mean, you can't go wrong. You got seat belts in the ceiling and shit. I mean, that's so awesome. It's like a luxury car, but it's not. It's a minivan. You know? I have to say, I like doing reviews on Chrysler products because Chrysler's just got so much cool shit going on. Nobody else has this much cool shit going on. Everybody else, just their cars are so boring. And if they're not boring, they're small. It's like a Lamborghini Huracan. Yeah, it's a really nice car. It's really fast and shit, but guess what? We can't fit in it. Yeah, so that's about it. This turn dial works just fine. It eliminates the... Oh, look, you got the rear backup camera right there. It's a little camera, but it works. And that's all that matters. Everything works. If everything works, everybody's happy. You know? All it has to do is just work. And that's the whole thing. It's like, even if you err on the size of the vehicle and you make a car too big, you know, people are still gonna buy it because they'd be like, you know what? I could use this thing to carry my tools around. Or I could use this thing to carry my huge family. Or I could use this thing to, I don't know, I could be an Uber driver. And I could, you know, drive Uber. You know? But that's all it is. All you gotta do is err on the size of size. Make them big, huge, and fucking fast. Look at that thing right there. That thing looks like he could mess with somebody on the road. Not me, though. Yep, big, huge, and fucking fast. What is that on that hood? What is that? Is that a duck? What is that? I wasn't even gonna record this, but I have to ask, what is that on that? What is that on that car? What is that? It looks like a model duck or something like that. It's like the Spirit of Ecstasy. It's like the Spirit of Ecstasy, except it looks like a duck. What is that? I gotta get closer. How am I gonna get closer? Just gotta make it past this Jeep right here. Let's get a little bit closer so I can see what that is. I have to see what that is right there. Like, these are the things that you see when you're in a Pacifica. You see absolute madness when you're in a Pacifica. This is madness right here. Ho ho, or hoo hoo. I don't know how you read this. I guess it's hoo hoo. Got this guy in this little Ford right here, trying to sneak up on me. Let me tell you something. If you think that it's easy to make driving a minivan exciting, let me tell you something. No, it's not. It's not. But when it's a Chrysler minivan, suddenly everything is more exciting. You know? It's not easy to make this exciting. It's just not. It's like, uh-oh, here we go. Let's drive past real slow and get a picture of this nonsense. What is this? 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 What is this right now? What is this? I think that's a duck. What is that? What is this that I'm witnessing here? What am I witnessing? This guy's got a duck in his car. He's got a model duck. What is that? Wow. That's just, it's something else right there. It's like a model duck there. These are the things you see when you're driving a Pacifica. Blue with orange calipers. Look at that shit. And I got the American flag floating in the background too. Look at that. Blue with orange calipers. That is nice. Orange fucking calipers. This, I think, the one thing that would have probably made this stand out just a little bit more, you got orange calipers, maybe a tan interior. That one, I like that shit. That is nice. This is not the wide body. Still look good though. They got this, I think that's the F8 green. And they got one of these big ass trucks. And those trucks are something else. It's a big ass truck. And then we got the F8 green Hellcat here, hidden, you know. Oh, that blue with those, oh, that's hot. I like that. Yeah, but see, you know what? Summer's kicking off. Hellcats are leasing. Oh, that guy's got like an old Mustang. But anyway, yeah, Hellcats are leasing. Getting a lease on these things is pretty easy. Black Brimbos on the green F8. I guess that works. It's too bad they didn't have a green Brembo caliper. But I don't know, maybe somebody... Because, you know, also the cool thing about it is, let's say you didn't want the color, you could always wrap the car. Now, you know, that's a lot more money, but, you know, you could always wrap the car. Wrapping the car makes sense, right? So you could get a white one or a black one, and then you change the whole color entirely. That makes a lot of sense. Looks good. Very good. I like that. I like that color. I would love to get a. I would absolutely love to get a Challenger, but I'd get the wide body, and it would have to be something just like that. It would be so cool. This way, you know, you could have 3 of these cars, these gas guzzling sons of bitches, and then they have this all-wheel drive. What is it? All-wheel drive 300. You could go $400 a month. You know, I can't understand how Chrysler did not give us a Hellcat 300. It's like, it's not that complicated. They could have given us a Hellcat 300. They could have given us the SRT too. Those were selling. The only one that wasn't selling was the V8 powered all-wheel drive. Because the problem was, a lot of people, I guess they felt it was too much, or they felt that it didn't make sense. Let's see what else they got here. Pacificas. I saw a guy with a Pacifica loaded on the highway. Oh! Uh-oh, we gotta find out. Uh-oh, Trackhawk, red Trackhawk. Red Trackhawk there. Blue. And of course, the obligatory thing that I must do is find out what's it called? What number demon this is, because the numbers matter. The number of the demon absolutely matters. You gotta find out what number it is. That's the most important thing. 1891. So we got 1891 here. Oh yeah, that's hot. Look at that color. I still think my favorite color is red, but the problem is you can't drive around one of these fucking cars in New York because the cops will be all over your ass waiting for you. In fact, I was driving here. There was a cop with a Dodge Charger Pursuit hidden, and he was just waiting for somebody to fuck up. Trackhawks. Red Trackhawk. Holy shit. Yeah, waiting for you to mess up. Look, this person got a blue one right here. Blue Hemi. Yeah, another happy customer, huh? Detailing. That is freaking beautiful. Look at that Trackhawk detailing. You gotta detail your Trackhawks. Oh yeah. That's nice. Yeah, so I guess that's about it for this period's Mopar news. I guess that's about it. I think I have enough content to say, yeah, I did something this week, huh?